So moving on to the programs, I like to let you know that I think it was a little more than 2 years ago, I got a big lottery when Roy from Indiana University and Ryan from Chapman University agreed to collaborate with me on a special book project. We were so passionate about the project. We were so fortunate to work together with many scholars around the world. We ended up publishing 4 books earlier last year. So um, okay, I see some colleagues here in the waiting room. Let me bring them in. So it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Roy Chen to speak 3 to 5 minutes about our first book on online teaching and learning. And Roy is the director of Doctor of Education program at Lee University in Tennessee. Dr. Chen, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bista, and thank you, Morgan State University, for hosting this very special webinar. As what Dean Prime mentioned, online learning, particularly online remote instruction, is increasing dramatically. And this book, we believe, is very timely. We worked together. I'm going to put the URL to the book right here. This book, we worked together during the pandemic to bring authors and contributors who are interested in understanding how online education is shaping student outcomes, not just here in the United States, but across the world. And this book takes on different perspectives from several contributors from several countries to understand what is, how do we best serve students during the pandemic, and how we could foster student success for all types of students and for all types of populations. I want to, I think, could I go to the next slide? Or so part of the themes and issues that were talked about in the book is we know that there are several challenges to online learning. As what Dean Prime mentioned, part of our role as scholar is to inform and to empower not just professors of how do we help move traditional instruction to online instruction, but how can we best serve them and meet their current needs? And our book highlights several themes. So these are some of the issues that are talked about in the book. So one of them, of course, we all know that both students and faculty report the inferiority of online learning versus face-to-face instruction. And that's quite common. That's one of the common issues that I've kind of noticed in our book, is that yes, online learning can be somewhat more inferior, but how can we move past that, where online learning is a new norm that we are going to continue to embrace during the pandemic, because we all know that COVID-19 is not going to disappear, within the next couple of years. I think sometimes faculty members assume that we're going to go back to pre-pandemic levels or pre-pandemic times, and COVID will disappear, but it really is going to be here for quite some time. So, so part of this book is to understand how do we, focus on online learning, and how to improve student satisfaction and motivation, because we know that online learning is suffering. And there are several strategies and tips that are discussed in the book. Of course, a key challenge is increased workload. Faculty members are taking on new roles and responsibilities of online learning, but yet, of course, not getting paid to do extra work, as well as limited resources available to faculty to support online instruction. If we go to the next slide, these are the other 4 challenges that the book sort of highlights in terms of the themes and issues discussed. You're welcome to read it. I highly encourage you to, just skim through the book and see, ways that you could implement some of the strategies into your own current work as a faculty member. Obviously, one of the biggest challenges is developing a technical infrastructure among low-income, low-resource, non-wealthy, and non-elite institutions, because many developing countries may not have that infrastructure to develop and serve students at that particular area. Learning a new management system, of course, is a big thing, as well as using different kind of tools such as Skype, Google, Zoom, etc. One of the key challenges and themes that are highlighted is from the book is the resistance from faculty due to the lack of exposure and extra time needed to prepare, for the classroom. And this is a common thread, particularly for tenured faculty members with 10 or more years experiences. Learning a new online tool might be a big adjustment for them. So there's some resistance for more senior faculty members to meet online instruction. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, unequal opportunities in terms of access to technology, particularly from specific populations or special populations, such as rural children, families of color, etc. But all of these issues and themes are highlighted in the book. I won't go into details about each chapter. We do have some of the contributors on this webinar who will be sharing about these themes and issues and topics throughout this presentation. So I'm happy to contribute, as well as our authors who have contributed significantly to our book project.
Thank you, Ray.
So much.
Thank you so much.